Hello friends, I'm Tom Downey from Chat Sports. The NFL Draft just about a week away, so let's take a look at some names who could sneak their way in to round one of the NFL Draft. It happens every single year. We saw it last year, namely Rashad Penny Terrell Edmunds being surprised as Frank Ragnow, Colt Miller going a little bit earlier than most had projected. Now, for this sleeper first-round pick look here, I'm targeting players who have not really been mocked in round one. Not all these guys are actually going to go in round one. In fact, it's more likely they're not. That's why they're surprises. If we thought they're going to go in round one, they're not a surprise. So we'll start things off with Chase Winovich, the edge rusher out of Michigan. Here's my main mindset with Winovich and why I think of all the guys, he actually might make the most sense. When you get past the top-tier defensive ends and outside linebackers and edge rushers, the Brian Burns, the Montez Sweats, Rashan Garys, Josh Allen, Bosa, etc., Cleveland Ferrell, there's a big drop-off. And there's a real chance that all of those guys are gone in the first 16 picks or in the first 20 picks. And when you get to the end of round one, there are still several teams that need pass rush help. Now, Winovich is a bit older than you want. He's already 24 years old, doesn't have elite size, but he tested very well at the NFL Combine, showing he's not just an effort guy, there's also some athleticism to his game. So I will not be surprised if he sneaks into round one as early as the Pittsburgh Steelers number 20, which I think in general is where you could see some chaos start to unfold in this year's NFL draft class, because that's when you get to the round two guys for most NFL teams. It's going to get a little bit dicier and some more differentiation in their boards. The Ravens could make some sense. Raiders, a dark horse there. Also, maybe the Kansas City Chiefs or the New England Patriots, or even, of course, a team moving up from round two into round one to get that fifth-year option on a player. So which Michigan edge would you rather draft? Rashan Gary or Chase Winovich? I'll let you guys in on a secret before my final big board is revealed. I prefer Chase Winovich. Not the same freak athlete and not as young as Rashan Gary, but guess what? He produced more and he's a strong athlete as well. I value that a little bit more than all upside with Gary. Let's move then to another edge rusher. That's LJ Collier out of TCU. Now, he's a little bit different player. Winovich is more of a outside linebacker in a 3-4, defensive end in a 4-3. Collier is more of a, where do you play him on the defensive line? Is he a 3 technique? Is he more of a true base defensive end? I don't know where to play him. He's a little bit of a tweener, but I do know some teams are very high on him. Maybe you play him as a base defensive end, kick him on the interior on passing downs. Maybe for a player comp, you're looking at a Breeland Speaks or a Mario Edwards type. My concern is he's too much of a tweener. I've only got a round 3 grade on him, but NFL teams are pretty high on him as well. So he could sneak into the end of round one. Again, it's just be a surprise pick here. I know the Oakland Raiders on high on Collier, maybe more so at the top of round 2. I think that'd be a better fit for him there. The Colts and Matty Rufus have shown some tendency to like some hybrid-type defensive ends. The Chiefs took Breeland Speaks, and he measured up pretty similar to LJ Collier, so that makes some sense. And the Patriots, you put someone on New England, they'll find a way to make the most out of that player's talents there. So Collier, I don't think is as likely as Chase Winovich, but he is a sleeper surprise name to watch out for to sneak into round one. Now, question for you guys. Do you watch the NFL Draft? Give me a Y for yes, N for no. And if you're typing in Y for yes, you should watch it with Chat Sports. Go subscribe, youtube.com/ChatSportsTV. We're going to be live for not just the first, second, and third rounds, not even for the fourth and fifth either. For all 7 rounds of the NFL Draft. We're going to give you every pick, analysis for every single player as well. None of those day 3 interviews and miss 15 straight picks like ESPN does. No. Every player discussed on our stream, so make sure you're subscribed, youtube.com/ChatSportsTV. Let's move then to Erik McCoy, and there are a couple different offensive linemen I think makes some sense. There's been a little bit of buzz about Titus Howard, a little bit about Caleb McGarry. Those guys also make some sense, but Erik McCoy I think fits the mold here best. Now, on the plus side, good size, can play center and guard. Oh, by the way, didn't allow us that this year, but you're a center, so that kind of makes some sense on that front. For McCoy, big red flag here. Iffy agility numbers, a bit undersized in terms of his arms and needs more growth here overall. But if you see a run on interior offensive linemen, namely if Garrett Bradbury goes off the board in the first 20 picks, there are several teams that need a center or an offensive guard that I think make a lot of sense for McCoy. But we've seen in many years past. Joshua Garnett, Travis Frederick, a surprise interior O lineman go off the board late in round 1. The Ravens are where things start for McCoy if Bradbury's gone. They need another interior lineman. So do the Raiders with Assembly now gone. The Chiefs have to replace Mitch Morse. McCoy could make some sense. Packers, a maybe even lesser sleeper there. And the LA Rams need some more offensive line help. Roger Saffold's gone. John Sullivan's gone. Brian Allen fills one spot. Does Joseph Noteboom fill one, or do they want to keep him at tackle long term? So watch out for McCoy in round 1. Let's go back to defense then. Justin Layne out of Michigan State. Now, I'll make note here. Many like Rocky Sin more. I do too. Rocky Sin's too obvious. That's not enough of a surprise for me. Instead, I'll go with Layne. Now, I know some people that have Layne as their number 1 cornerback this year. And I get the upside side of it. Former receiver, still developing as an actual cornerback, fits the ideal mold of that lanky, long, and fast press corner. 6'1" and some change, almost 200 pounds, 33-inch arms. There's some good speed in his game, although he's not really a true burner type, but, at that size, it's okay. He is the type of corner teams like to reach for. We've seen that time and time again. Artie Burns sticks out as an example there. So teams like the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Seattle Seahawks, both very much Layne fits into that mold of good athlete at a big-name school and has long arms. Houston Texans, I would not be surprised at all. Raiders, again, with 2 first-round picks. They fit as a dark horse there. The Chiefs as well. Now, maybe you're wondering, well, wait, what about DeAndre Baker, Tom? Well, let me know which corner you'd rather draft. Give me an L for Justin Layne, a B for DeAndre Baker. For me, it's a no-brainer. I think DeAndre Baker is a better prospect. I don't think the NFL feels the same way. And if you maybe pick one as to who would go higher, I think I'd actually lean more towards Justin Layne being the pick for whatever NFL team, either in late round 1 or early round 2. Let's go with another corner that, again, fits that same type of mold. Long, lanky, premier athlete. That's Lonnie Johnson, or at least premier athlete based on his size. 6'2", 213, 32.5 plus inch arms, so it checks off all those boxes. 4'5", 240, that's good for a corner of his size. Big problems here are that, in general, this year's cornerback class, the ones with the best tape didn't test that well. The ones with the best testing didn't always have the best tape. That's Lonnie Johnson in a nutshell. Now, he is an all-traits guy. Now, he was going to go to Ohio State, didn't have the academics, went JUCO, ended up at Kentucky there. Didn't make a ton of play on the ball, is already 23 years old, but this is the traits-based corner that needs some work on technique. And if you like your Villanova coaching staff at the cornerback spot, you think you can make the most out of him. So some similar fits here for Lonnie Johnson along with Justin Layne. The Pittsburgh Steelers, Seattle Seahawks, Houston Texans, and then I think he goes later than Justin Layne, the Chiefs and the Rams. One big thing for both of those corners, they're going to need guys like Greedy Williams, like Byron Murphy, to go earlier than even most are projecting. Those guys have to go off the board early. I don't know if that actually ends up happening. Now, today's show is brought to you guys by BetDSI, the internet's #1 sportsbook. They're going to have all kinds of NFL draft prop bets for you guys. So, A, make sure you follow me on Twitter at WhatGoingDowney, and we'll get you guys hooked up. I made a ton of money at the NFL Combine. I'll help you win some more at the NFL Draft. Chatsports.com/bet and use that promo code LIVE120. Next up, a safety, Juan Thornhill. Look, you could put, honestly, almost any safety here. Darnell Savage. I think Taylor Rapp now qualifies given his bad testing at his pro day in terms of long speed. I don't know if Hunter Johnson counts. Maybe, I don't think I'm on Hooker, but that fits as well. So safety is a big cluster right now for me as to where they'll actually end up going. But Thornhill has a lot to like. Great combine testing, long speed, broad jump, vertical jump, really good ball skills at Virginia. I don't think he played as fast. I also don't know what Thornhill's best position is going to be in the NFL. He played everywhere for Virginia. He played cornerback. He played strong safety. He played nickel corner. He played free safety. Hell, this past year, he was basically a strong safety linebacker hybrid. Now, that worked for Virginia. I don't know if that type of position flex is going to turn some teams off. There's some possible fits here for Thornhill. Pittsburgh Steelers make him into a true free safety. Houston, pairing with Justin Reed, that's a fun long-term duo. They're even playing him at corner. The Colts, Malik Hooker and Juan Thornhill, a fun duo, but are they good enough tacklers? The Chiefs, you got to replace Eric Berry still. Thornhill and Tyrann Mathieu, that's a fun duo. Green Bay wants to pair someone with Adrian Amos as well. So lots of different options there for Thornhill. His draft range, along with pretty much every safety this year, wide open for me. I don't have a great feel for where they will actually end up going. Now, a lot of good safeties this year, so let me know. Who is your favorite in this year's draft class? I am a personal fan of Darnell Savage. He's not my number one guy. There's also Nasir Adderley. There's Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, Jonathan Abram, Taylor Rapp. List goes on and on. So let me know in the comments section who your favorite safety is this year. Let's recap then these potential sleeper and surprise round 1 picks. Chase Winovich, LJ Collier, Erik McCoy, and then Justin Layne, Lonnie Johnson, and Juan Thornhill. Remember, most of these guys aren't going to go in round 1. That's why they're surprise round 1 picks. Now, one more bonus name for you guys is Will Grier. And I'll tell you guys what, every single year we play this game. We play this game of, hey, you know what? This day 2 quarterback, he might go round 1. There's buzz about it. We play it every single year. Last year, we had Luke Falk, who went all the way down in round 7. We had Davis Webb, who is bad. We also had Joshua Dobbs that year. We've had Christian Hagemer, which is kind of cheating. We had Cardell Jones. Bryce Petty got some round 1 buzz. And the king of it all, remember the year that Tom Savage got round 1 buzz? That was all things that have happened. I think this year's quarterback is Will Grier, and there have been a little bit of buzz about Grier going in round 1. I'll be stunned. Because every year we play this game. Every year they don't end up going in round 1. Now, I'm not a Will Grier hater by any means. I just don't think he's a round 1 player. I have him more as a round 2, round 3 type of guy. He can be a starting quarterback as more of a stopgap option. I don't think he is a true franchise guy, and I'd rather have him than Daniel Jones. But I don't think the NFL is even potentially as high on him as I am. So Will Grier, I don't think you're going to see him end up going in round 1 in the NFL draft, but I did want to make note because he's everybody's favorite surprise pick for round 1. We play that game every year with quarterbacks. All right, folks, again, make sure you subscribe to us, youtube.com/chatsportstv. All 7 rounds live of the NFL draft. Oh, by the way, we'll have the picks before ESPN. So make sure you're subscribed, youtube.com/chatsportstv.